their feelings don't dictate your goals, or what was it?
Other people's feelings don't trump your food preferences.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like,
your goals.
Or your goals. So whatever you want to do, if it upsets other people, that's a them problem.
Yeah.
That is not a you problem. Do you think you support me during my diet phase and my fitness goals in general?
Yes.
How?
Because I don't say, "Oh, you don't want to go for a pizza with me?" That's why.
Here's the thing. You kind of do.
No,
you don't whine about it, but you'll be like, yeah, let's go for, let's get pad thai. Let's get whatever. I'm going to get something. Do you want something?
Oh, but that's just me asking if you're...
That's how
really
I
nice.
take it. But yeah.
Like I support you.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I think you do too. Do you think I support you?
Yeah, you've let me do
I permit you.
You've supported me on my bodybuilding preps, and you end up eating better too. Because on my last prep, you got your one meal out a week, and that was it.
That's all I do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my usual.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you didn't...
Well, I do two untracked meals, typically take out a week. I've done that for probably a year and a half. Yeah. A couple years ago, I was doing way more.
But you weren't like...
Too much, too many.
Yeah, you support me 100%.
Nice. Do you notice a challenge with that with clients or for even just friends? As far as like, because we've chatted about this. I see it with people for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I notice it even with us because we're very blessed in the sense of we're in the same world together. So we kind of get it. We're still human. So there's still a push and a pull. That's normal. But because we're both in the same world, it's like, I think it's a lot easier for us than people where, you know, someone might hire me and they're like, I want to get into fitness. I'm now going to be a fitness person. And then their spouse is like, I support you, but I'm not a fitness person. So I'm still living this old life and you're trying to live this new life. It can be hard.
I only ever saw it with like lifestyle people.
What's that mean?
So like non-competitors.
Yeah. Okay.
If someone is going to prep for a bodybuilding show, most likely they've talked to their spouse. And even if their spouse or partner or whatever doesn't necessarily understand it,
right,
they're usually pretty good because they're like, oh, this person isn't just losing weight. Like, they're going on a bodybuilding stage. So I haven't had that issue. I've had issues for just lifestyle transformations.
Yeah.
Where the spouse comes to me, they hire me, they really want to do well. And then they're just like, my partner is just literally almost sabotaging me.
How so? Can you think of examples?
Yeah, like making them feel guilty for not eating out with them, making them guilty for not having that bowl of ice cream they have every night, making them guilty that they're not drinking with them.
Right.
And then the person's just like, well, I don't want my partner to cheat on me, leave me, whatever. So I'm just going to go back to, or just be upset.
Yeah.
It's going to cause a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, or like, for instance, people sabotaging, maybe not even on purpose, but they'll make comments like, oh, I just love you the way you are, though. You don't need to change.
Yeah, that's a classic.
You're perfect for me. And that's so manipulative because that's like, and they might not even know they're doing it, but subconsciously they're like, I don't want this person to get hot.
Right.
Because then maybe and it's their own insecurity because they don't think that they're worth it. Right. Or that they're attractive and then they're like, well, if my partner starts getting hotter and hotter, they're going to get all this attention. I don't trust that they actually love me. And then it's this big spiral of like, they're going to leave me 100%. So I have to tell them that they look good so that they just stay like this.
I think that's a super common one. I think that happens a lot. And I don't think it's malicious. I think it is subconscious.
Yeah.
I don't think they mean to do it, but they do it.
Yeah.
I think another reason as well, I don't think it's always because they're worried they're going to leave necessarily. So they're insecure in the relationship. I think it's more for a lot of people, it's actually the fact that they're holding up their partner when they're going through that journey. They're effectively holding up a mirror to them.
Yeah.
Right. So then
all their bad habits will be exposed.
Yeah. So then they start to see like, ooh, I could be doing better, but I'm not ready to do better.
Yeah.
And this is uncomfortable. So I'm just going to figure out a way to get my partner to stop doing this because it doesn't make me feel good about myself. You know?
Yep. And so they'll do that with their words, or they'll do that with their actions, or they'll be like, "Oh, I brought you a bowl of chips. Like I already poured them out of the bag."
Right.
And then it's that whiny voice, and they feel like, I have to do this now because my partner, they were so generous. They brought me a bowl of chips.
Or even, I can think of a one that can be very challenging as well, which is a lot of people show love by buying gifts. And for people that enjoy food, receiving food would be receiving love. And if you're with someone who gives, like that's how they show love, that can be really hard.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I want to show you love. I'm really proud of all the work you're doing. Can I get you ice cream? Can I get you chocolate covered almonds? I'm just going to give it to you. And then it's like, and then they get anxiety when they receive it.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, this isn't on my plan. Like this is a problem. Thank you. But I don't feel good about this.
Just get them Crocs instead.
Just buy them a case of Coke Zero.
You said you were going to say cake.
Yeah. Buy them a cake. The Freudian slip.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, just buy them a cake. No, buy them a case of Coke Zero. I'd be fired up with that gift.
I bought you the Wake water the other day.
I didn't even have it.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, it was in the garbage. So I just threw it out with the rest of the garbage. It was in our bathroom garbage.
Huh. I don't remember drinking it.
You're having.
I'm
just tweaking.
So yeah, as of this right now, as of today when we're recording this, I'm 2 months into a fat loss phase.
Yeah.
December 2nd. So yeah, just over 2 months. About 2 months into this fat loss phase.
It feels longer than that.
Kind of.
Feels like it's been longer than that.
And I just dropped my calories recently this week. So I dropped my calories because I'm like, I got to get this rocking. I'm going too slow. I was arguing with a friend about it. He's like, you should be speeding this up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, here's why, blah, blah. And I did a good job justifying why I shouldn't. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it for a day. And I was like, nah, like my reasons are good, but they're not good enough. That's what I came to the conclusion of. They're good. And I did a good job.
And you know what you're doing?
What?
Is you could almost be lower because nighttime rolls around and you're like, I still have 200-300 calories and I've already eaten everything.
Yeah. I mean, you could always be lower, but I wouldn't give that as like a reason to go lower. Cause like my challenge is not the evening. I think you're looking at it through that lens of like the evening's the challenge. That's not the challenge.
What's your challenge?
The challenge is 1 p.m. until dinner. That's for me, like that's the hard one. That's
like
where
it feels like what? Oh, just
starving. Like that's where it's like hunger is.
So why wouldn't
roof.
you, if you know you have extra 200-300 calories every evening, why wouldn't you put it in there?
That's what I need to start doing is messing around with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
so you're aware.
Yeah, 100%. It's just. I mean, I don't know how you do this, but these are like the mind games you play on how you try and strategize your macros and stuff, right? Like, so for me, I have lunch, and then I'm like, okay, we typically have dinner later, so I have a big stretch from lunch until dinner, and I'm like, I want to have a little bit of a bigger dinner, so I'm not going to consume anything between lunch and dinner. I want to save it. But now what I've been doing is like, I'll have a little bit of fruit or something like that in the afternoon, something like that doesn't take away a lot of my macros. I can still have a pretty big dinner, but I might be able to just split it up into like 3 meals, 3.5 meals. I could do 4 meals, 3 being reasonable.
Yeah.
And then 1 smaller one. So, but yeah, I think that being said, I think you and I definitely have like a big advantage.
Yeah.
In that sense, because we're in this world. Both of us are in the world of fitness, and I love to see you win. Presumably you love to see me win. So and I really truly believe that. So it's a lot easier for us to achieve goals in the sense of we have the support, and we don't have really anyone in our circle as far as like friends or family, because that's a challenge for a lot of people too. It's not just spouse, friends and family, the social pressure when they're like, okay, well, I want to live a balanced life, but I also want to improve my fitness. I don't want to be this weirdo that like says no to all of these extracurricular activities, and then they go to these social events and they feel good, and then they're bombarded with all these comments and suggestions and demands and
You're already
whatever.
skinny enough. You don't need to
Yeah.
change. That's not healthy. Oh, you can just have one bite. I got a full list of
You got to
things
try
that
it. You just
yeah,
got to try it. No, I
yeah.
don't. I don't need to try your
Or
chocolate chip
one of my
cookies.
clients, if she's listening, she'll know it's her. The other day, oh, my grandma brought pizza over and she would be mad if I didn't have a piece. So she had a piece of pizza.
Right.
Right. And it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, grandma's gonna be mad. Like,
Yeah, that's
you
I
know,
made a post about that last year, I think. That was a good one where it was like, it
your
was
their feelings don't dictate your goals, or what was it?
other people's feelings don't trump your food preferences.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like,
your goals.
Or your goals. So whatever you want to do, if it upsets other people, that's a them problem.
Yeah.
That is not a you problem.
And it won't be an overnight fix of you getting over comments that people make, but it's just something that you can work on over time to be like, I really sorry if it hurts people's feelings, but I don't care what you think.
Truth
Like,
of the matter,
this is
that's
my
what it
body
is.
and my life, and just look around and you see people that are at an age where they should still be independent and they should still be walking around and exercising, and these people can't even move because they didn't do anything to change their lifestyle to be more fit or to be more healthy, right? So, and yes, that it really has to do with all your choices, including the choice of your partner, right? And that's not to say that you and I are perfect with that. Because there would be moments where I was like, yeah, I do think you look fine, but you didn't think you looked fine.
You said that recently.
What did I say?
You're getting too skinny.
I didn't say that to you, though. I said that someone else said that.
No, you've said that to me.
You
may not say too skinny, but
I didn't say those words. I
like,
said you're getting smaller.
Yeah. Either way, this is actually the conversation we're having right now is a good example. I interpreted that as I had to just plug that out, be like, that information doesn't help me. That doesn't motivate me. So I go, unfortunately, I don't care what in a respectful way, I don't care. I like the direction I'm going. So I have to stay on that trajectory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's hard though. Cause like even me in that moment, I have to be like, okay, this could either like piss me off. This could make me feel ashamed or feel guilt tripped. It could make me feel a ton of ways, but I'm in control of how that makes me feel. I just chose to be like, this isn't like an insult or a malicious thing or whatever, or even lack of support. It just is. And that's okay. Like they're just words. I am moving towards a thing that I want for myself.
Yeah.
Like as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all it is. But that for a lot of people, their version of that can be very abrasive.
Yeah, because the version of that on my end would be like you saying like, do you really need to eat that?
Right.
Because you've said that. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to eat it, whether you think I should or not, or whatever. Or yeah, maybe I don't need it. Like, it's hard because it's a relationship. So you're balancing like, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, but I also want to say what I want to say.
Yeah. And also like for me, like in situations like that, it doesn't bother me. Do you know what I mean? Like you're if someone like in a scenario like that, if you're offended, I'd be like, oh, yeah, apologize. Did not mean to hurt your feelings. So whatever. Because what I think doesn't really matter in that sense. I'm like, are you moving in a direction that you like, that you're happy with?
Yeah.
Good. Like that makes me happy. So like, hell yeah, keep doing what you're doing then. Right. Because that's ultimately from my perspective, if I make a comment like that, I'm making it, maybe part of it is selfish if we actually think about it, but the way that I would overtly consciously like say the motivation's coming from is like, I'm just care about you. So are you happy with this? If you're happy with this, hell yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like keep doing what you're doing. So, because that's the thing, because we all make choices that we aren't necessarily happy with. You know what I mean? But I think for a lot of people that can be like extremely abrasive because you have people that are very overt with their comments in social scenarios. A lot of women to other women are particularly brutal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenarios. We've talked about that a lot of my clients have some of the worst comments that they have had made to them around their diet goals, fitness goals, weight loss goals, body image, how they should look, how they should eat, how they shouldn't look, how they shouldn't eat, whatever it is. A lot of them are from like matriarchs in their family, like aunts, grandmas, moms. And that's tough, man, you know? And then it starts to like shape the direction that you feel like you should go. You're like, is that true? And then you start second guessing yourself. It's like, no, you're doing the right thing.
It's crazy because like I have clients that have had that issue. They've decided to do their first show. Their mom, their foreign grandmother, they don't get it, especially when it's a culture that's very food driven, right? Like big family dinners and all that stuff. And then they see the transformation that their child has made, and they get to show day and they're like the #1 fans because they're like, it's almost like they didn't believe that they could do it. And their child goes through this big transformation and they're in awe. And then they're coming to thank me because they think I did it. I'm like, no, they did all the work. I just was like holding the hand and guiding, right? But so it goes to show you that people usually make comments like that when they don't understand. Even my dad, when I was going online full time, online coach, he would suggest to me every time I saw him, he would suggest a different career. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, Sammy, you should do firefighting. Oh, Sammy, you should go back into pharmacy. And then I straight up looked at him one day and I said, do you not understand my business? And then he was like, yeah, I don't know what you do. He didn't understand how I made money doing what I do. So I just explained that to him. He hasn't said anything since. So those comments usually come from a place of...
He thought you were struggling.
Yeah. I was like, I'm making more than both your sons. So like, love you, my brothers. But it usually comes from a place that they just don't understand.
Yeah.
And all they've been told too is like, you need balance. Like diets are bad. You need to just eat what your heart tells you and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not right at all.
You think about it, the average person doesn't look good. The average person doesn't feel good.
No.
So if you're going to take advice that's average from the average person, you're going to look like the average person. You're going to feel like the average person. So if everyone is telling you, or most people are telling you, you should or shouldn't do this, you might want to second guess that and be like, maybe that's not the advice I want to take if I want to be great.
And then on top of that, you should change your environment.
That's a tough one.
For people like us going to gyms already and now leveling up and going to a gym that's full of more killers and people with good physiques and people who train hard. It's like you go in there and you think to yourself, I really want to look even better.
Right.
Someone's like, I need to impress all of these people that are doing well. And then that gives you even more motivation because no one there is average, especially at the time we go. For you to get up early and go to the gym and
you're
be there every day. Like,
Yeah, it's very true. It's, you know what it is? It's like, it's your environment. It's an extension of that saying where you become the person, or you become the closest five people you're around, or whatever it is, right? And it's kind of the same thing. So the environment that you're around socially, among other things too, like what you perceive and feel and hear and smell and whatever, all that stuff is, I think, valuable as well. All that affects kind of your own emotions and then behaviors and what you end up doing.
Yeah.
But so from this angle that we're talking about socially, if you can change that, and most people can, it's just hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's easy. It is hard, especially when you're around a social circle that you're in pretty deep in for years. It's like, you're not just going to cut people off. I wouldn't recommend that.
No.
Unless someone's abusive and there's a toxic situation there, whatever. Most people would understand that. But in most situations, you're not going to cut people off, but you might need to be a little more careful with the energy and time you give certain people, because it might not be productive for you, and it might not be productive for helping to evolve you into a better version of yourself. Like if you're trying to go a certain direction, you're going to have to break free from like crabs in the bucket type mentality, which is very, very common if you're in a scenario where people aren't trying to level up.
Yeah.
They're not going to be supportive. Sorry to tell you, but like they're just not. They might tell you that overtly, but their behaviors are probably not going to be supportive. Statistically speaking, most of them will not be supportive.
Yeah.
So you got to break free. You got to find people that are supportive and that make you inspired to level up and be a better person.
So then what can you do if the person holding you back is your spouse then?
That's a tough one. I think the best thing to do there is going to be a conversation.
Okay.
You're going to have to be honest. You're just going to have to be like, hey, these are my goals. And then have a conversation around that. Because that
and
might be
maybe say
uncomfortable
like,
for
do
them.
you understand them?
Yeah. Do you understand why I want this?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one, right? That's a great point. It's like, here are my goals. Do those make sense? Okay, cool. Next thing. Do you understand why these matter to me? Because if they really love you, they should want to know the answer to that. And they should know the answer to that. And also, you being you should know the answer to that. And maybe you haven't thought about that. So this would be a good exercise for you to like sit down and be like, why do these matter to me? Cool. Now I have to explain to someone I care about, you know?
And sometimes people have those goals, and it's not even for themselves. It's like, I want to look hotter for you in the bedroom.
Right.
And it's as simple as that, right? It's like they want to feel more desired by their partner, so they want to be hotter for their partner, but then their partner doesn't want them to get hotter because they don't want them to get more. And then it's just right. So I think you nailed it. You just got to have a really open and honest conversation that might be a little uncomfortable.
It probably will be.
You're going to forget about it in a week.
It probably will be. I mean,
So
if we're being honest, it also could erupt into a fight. Like that's the thing. That's why it's scary, because you do have to take the chance of like, this could be a confrontation I don't want to have.
Yeah.
But how important are your goals? How important, not even just your goals, because that even doesn't seem as important. How important is the future version of you? Because assuming you don't die, you're going to get there. Life could be hell. Life could be average, or life could be awesome. If you want it to be awesome, you're probably going to have to make some decisions right now that you don't want to do. And that's one of those where you just have to sit down and have that conversation of like, here's what my goals are. Here's why they matter to me. And then the third thing I would say would be, here's what I need from you. Are you prepared to give me that? And I understand that this might be asking a lot. So can you do this? And if not, let's figure out a compromise so that I can still achieve my goals. You get what you need. And our marriage, our relationship isn't on the chopping block, or, you know, I'm not unfairly asking something. Because that's the biggest thing. It's like, they might just not understand what they need from you. People are just reacting. You know what I mean? So anyways, hope you liked the episode. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video, comment below your favorite part. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and share to your social media and tag @StayPeaked. Thanks so much for listening. Subscribe to the show on all platforms. We love you. Bye.